All right. First thing I'm going to do, protect you from anything I might have been exposed to out here. Because this is kind of a septic environment. I really don't want to pass anything on.
Oh yeah, I may need some there too. I need
feel
some.
free.
Okay.
Feel free.
Yeah.
You don't have to. I'm pretty well immune to everything except for the magnolia trees. Now, all I need to start is whatever hand you're most comfortable writing with.
Whichever hand I'm most comfortable writing with?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Pull yourself up. Make yourself comfortable. The very first thing I do when I look at anybody's hand is I hide the finger and thumb so I can see the shape of the hand itself. Now when I do that, you can see for yourself you've got a lot of curve here and here, although you also have some strong corners here. This is a combination of earth and water-based hand. The earth-based hand means that you're very down-to-earth, very practical, very pragmatic. But the water-based hand shows you have a deep emotional side to your nature. You have really good logic connections, but given a choice of following your head or following your heart, it's going to be a toss-up which one wins. Got good problem-solving capabilities. Ever watch MacGyver?
Yeah.
That's you. You can do almost anything with almost nothing. Excellent common sense. You keep both feet right here in the real world and really run out of patience with the idiots in the space cadets who live somewhere other than planet Earth. Now the top of your hand, you see that curve there?
Yeah.
I call this the arch of tolerance. I found over the years that the higher the arch is, the more open-minded and tolerant the person tends to be. And by using this as a simple straight line, you can see you've got a beautiful curve there. Darling, if you were a couple decades older, I could see you marching on Washington with Dr. King.
With Dr. King?
Yeah, you would have been
I had a dream last night that I was king. You laughed.
That doesn't surprise me.
I was still king.
King of what? That's the question.
They call me Johnny C. the Great.
Okay. Now the bottom of your hand. Now you see how this is the foundation of your hand. I call it the fourfold foundation because there's 4 features that show up. How strong-willed you are shows up by how far out that bone goes and how sharp the corner is. Now you can see I can get the entire pencil in there with a little bit of room to spare. And that tells me you can be very strong-willed. However, you see that curve there? Yeah. Darling, people who know how to tug on your heartstrings get over on you so bad.
They be getting over on me?
Yeah, people who know how to tug on your heartstrings. If you're a dad, you're a sucker for the puppy dog look. Yeah, you have a deep emotional nature, and sometimes that overruns your strength of will.
I think that's how the chicks be getting over on me.
No, it's just people who know. If your kid does something wrong, yeah. And instead, you'd be the one if they give. But Daddy, I tried so hard. You'd be a sucker for that. You really are. You have a big heart, darling. Strong moral and ethical standards, but your morals and ethics are not necessarily politically correct. You'll do the wrong thing for all the right reasons. Strongly held opinions on most subjects, but you see that channel here? Darling, this tells me that you're going to make a really good dad someday because you're the one that goes, yes, I've heard your arguments. Yes, you have some valid points, but the answer is still no. Sharp downward slanting corners, lots and lots of energy, but you absolutely suck at patience. You don't like waiting in line. You don't like waiting in traffic. Can you say road rage? And stupid people really should get out of your way. You have a very full, very fleshy mount of Venus. This tells me you're a very passionate person, a very sensual person. By passionate, I mean you feel things strongly. When you get mad, you get really, really mad. When you get happy, it's like, wee!
And how do I be when I'm happy?
Wee! Da-da-da-da, char! You go through the emotional extremes, but you're also very sensuous. You are a sucker for a good back rub, and you probably like bubble baths, even though you'd never admit it. You like indulging your senses, like something that smells good. You want to bury your face in it. Yeah. You're passionately overindulgent, darling. Anything you like lots and lots of. The problem is any bad habit you acquire throughout your lifetime will stick to you like crazy glue. And that sort of thing runs in your family and you know it. So avoid anything addictive like the plague. Yeah. No, what I mean is if you like jelly beans, you wouldn't know when to stop with the jelly beans. Okay. Or if you were a smoker, if you decided to finish smoking, you'd have to get that patch right away because you'd have a hard time backing off from any bad habits.
Right, like if I get a bottle, I gotta finish it.
Yep. Well-developed amount of Luna. Darling, you really are a deeply emotional person. You live on your heart just as much as you do on your head. And luckily for you, you're really good at hiding it. Because A, you suffer from what I call white knight syndrome. Do you know what I mean by that?
Explain it.
Okay, 3 o'clock in the morning, the phone rings and somebody you know is in trouble. You may fuss, cuss, and give them an attitude, but the whole time you're fussing at somebody on the phone, you're pulling on your shoes, grabbing your keys, and heading out the door to go help.
Yeah.
You're good at hiding it. You got away with murder growing up, didn't you? Who, me? I'm not doing anything. That would have been you.
I'm just a nice guy.
Exactly. That's the point I'm making. You, honey, if you ever get in a tight spot, you could always play poker at Harrah's because you're really good at bluffing. Oddly enough, you may be outgoing now, but you were very shy when you were growing up. You were a little withdrawn. You didn't always let people see what was going on. You can see by that flattened area here. Now, I think one of the reasons you picked up a camera is it allows you to step in and get closer to people with a little bit of protection there. That's actually a good thing.
I like to put people on camera.
You like using the camera.
Overnight.
That's true, but you can also get involved with people, and you're still a little bit shy. You're still a little bit gun shy about getting up to people. It's hard for you to open up and say hi to somebody, but the camera makes it a lot easier.
Right.
It's like that's your icebreaker right there. You don't always say a lot, but you know how to make what you do say count, and you really love messing with people's heads, don't you?
You can tell that from the hand?
Yep. Bit of it. You see how this area's got that little really deep valley there?
Yeah.
You never wanted to be a grown-up in the first place. You're going to be an 80-year-old Toys R Us kid. You also have this is called a humanities line. And one of the reasons that it's a good thing you're behind that camera is you see this line here? Communications to help other people is a big part of your career and always should be. Because that's where your money's always been, is trying to make a difference on a day-to-day basis. Like you just said, make them a celebrity overnight, even if it's just a little bit at a time. It makes people feel good about themselves. And as long as you focus on that aspect of it, you'll never have to worry about money in your life because that's where your money's at. No, I don't think being a cameraman is your final career, and I don't think it's even your first one. Because you got 1, 2, 3 different career lines there, which tells me you're going to wind up with 3 full-time careers before you're done. Hopefully you wind up directing, not just running the camera. And you see how this line kind of goes down and reaches your lifeline? It tells me you do eventually get to where you want to be financially. Unfortunately, you have to work for it. I'm very, very sorry, but you're not going to hit the lottery. And long-lost great Aunt Murgatroyd is not going to kick buckets and leave you millions. You'll be comfortably well off.
What if I go to the casino and hit big?
Well, that's something that has nothing to do with luck. That has to do with control. You'd still have to work for it and sweat bullets every time the card deals out.
Either way it go, I'm going to be a rich man one day.
You're going to be well-to-do and comfortable. You're not going to be a Donald Trump, I'm sorry, but you're going to be okay. You won't have to worry about paying the bills. Let's put it to you that way.
Maybe I'll marry rich?
I hope. But you know what? No, actually, what I think is going to happen is one of your collections is going to wind up being very, very, one of the things that you like to collect is going to pay off because you're a little bit of a pack rat. You don't like throwing things away.
No, not really.
Relax your fingers.
I'm going to take
Picky.
this off. It's getting kind of hot.
Yeah, it's getting a little warm.
Yeah, this discussion getting a little heated. Oh, my.
Oh, it's just allergies.
You need some more of this?
Nope. No, yeah, actually I do. I just coughed into my hand.
Yeah.
I'd rather not pass anything on if I can help it.
Oh, y'all don't like diseases and viruses?
Nope. Not if I can help it. No, I have asthma and I'm allergic to the magnolia trees. So it's not contagious.
All right.
Yeah. Now, all I need is, let me have your hand back. Now, picky, detail-oriented perfectionism. Yes, you are a nitpicker.
Oh, yeah.
But you never lose sight of the general idea of the overall concept. You never lose sight of the big picture. People who can do both usually wind up being managers, administrators, troubleshooters, entrepreneurs running their own show. And in your case, this is kind of important. You see how your thumb goes way, way out? It tells me you're very independent-minded. But you see how that thumb bends forward? That tells me you like being in control. Yeah, you're better off being the boss than arguing with the boss. You've probably argued your way into unemployment at least once. Now your heart line, you see how straight that heart line is? Boy Scout merit badge when it comes to relationships. You don't give your heart easily, but when you do, it's for good. Loyal in love, loyal in friendship, loyal to the people and family and causes you really care about. How old are you?
I'm 25 at the moment.
Are you with somebody right now?
Uh-uh.
Good, because you got at least another 2 years to wait before Mrs. Right shows up.
Oh, for real, she gonna show up in 2 years?
About 2 years.
Either the person I already met or somebody that...
We can find out that from the cards.
Okay.
But you're going to be about 26, 27 when the right lady shows up, or at least you get close enough to her that you can see the rest of your life with her. Now your headline, you can see how your headline goes way across your hand, which tells me you're highly intelligent. I don't think math was your favorite subject in school, and you do know you're ADD, right?
I'm ADD?
Yep. You know how you're really good at multitasking? You can do 2 or 3 things at the same time. And when things slow down and start getting normal, you get bored and restless and start getting frustrated.
Yeah, I do, but math is my favorite subject.
Uh-huh. It was? That surprises the hell out of me. Because you see that?
I like money.
Yeah, but how were you at trigonometry?
I ain't take it.
Exactly. That's my point. Now, you're really good at multitasking. You suck at doing one thing at a time. You're really good. You not only can't chew gum and walk at the same time, you almost have to. And, darling, your mind goes to. I'm sorry, you have what I call diarrhea of the mind. It never shuts up.
So my mind is the
No, your mind is constantly going and going and going and going. It never shuts up even when you're trying to go to sleep.
Right.
Your lifeline wraps around to the base of your hand, so you're looking at 75 to 85 year lifespan. And that's even if you smoke, drink, and tell naughty jokes. And around here, I recommend all 3. Do, however, keep an eye on the stress levels, because you got blood pressure and heart problems running on both sides of your family tree. And yes, you did pick up the genetic markers for it. So watch out. Find some way of letting out the stress, because you tend to hold it in for way too long. And then when you finally do blow up, it's kind of like watching a nuclear explosion, preferably seen from a safe distance.
Oh, wow.
Also, keep an eye on things like hypoglycemia, diabetes, thyroid problems, because that sort of stuff runs in your family too. So you got to watch the sweets. You lay off that sweet tooth of yours.
I got a sweet tooth.
Yes, you do, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. You need to be careful with it, because there's more than one person in your family who's had to deal with diabetes or something along those lines. And you know how, and you did pick up the genetic markers for it, so you need to watch out for that. Now, got a couple instances of cancer in your family, but that's fairly normal in this day and age, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. You see these lovely little lines across your wrists?
Yeah.
These are called life extension bands, and what they tell me is that you are not only going to live to a ripe old age, but your mind is going to be intact all the way down the line. And that, my friend, is your hand. Any questions?
No questions at all. You say I had
3 different career lines. Yep. You're only 25 now. Considering that, you see that outward bend of your pinky finger?
Yeah.
I'll lay you 10 to 1 odds. Writing's going to be one of them.
Who?
Writing.
Writing?
Yeah, because you have a way of...
come out with a book.
Exactly. Writing is one of your talents. You're also very artistically creative. And besides, I could see you running your own store, because A, you like being in control. B, you're very creative and you like teaching people. You like showing people how to do things. And because you have that inclination, running your own store, like a camera store or an art supply shop, would be right up your alley. And as I said, you're way better off being the boss than arguing with the boss. Any other questions?
I think you answered everything. You found out some stuff that I really didn't think nobody knew.
Exactly. Palmistry is a skill. It's kind of like reading a map of who you are. And if you stop and think about it logically, it actually does make sense. Your hand is soft living leather. It's constantly renewing itself. You know, old skin cells flake away, new skin cells grow in on top of it. And you use your hands all the time. You snap your fingers when you get an idea. You clap your hands when something makes you happy, or you clench your fists when you're uptight about something. Even if you don't use them, you're just like, oh, that makes me so mad. It only makes sense that your life experiences and life patterns will show up in your hand. It's really like reading a map. I just happen to know how.
I'm glad you do.
So am I. Thank you very much. You've been a delight to read.
Thank you.